Having compassion for yourself or giving yourself grace is a wonderful way to developing a healthy relationship with yourself. Now, feeling sorry for yourself, not so much. Life's full of ups and downs, ebb and flow, death and rebirth. We are literally witnessing the yin and yang spectrum, balance. Feeling sorry for yourself only leads to hopelessness. And when you feel hopeless, it's a little difficult to conjure up ways to pick yourself up and to feel better. Mentally, you're stuck. Allowing yourself to go through sadness is different. It's healthy and it's needed. Sadness can be very reflecting. It can help you to navigate your thoughts, relationships with others, and is a purging moment, like weight has been lifted off of your shoulders. Hello, my name is Jonna, and I make content on things that really matter and not a bunch of fluff bullshit. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and of course, never be shy to comment down below. Have you ever been or witnessed someone who had this sort of woe is me mindset? Well, I think it's safe to say that most of us, if not all of us, have been there. Have you also noticed that once you carry around that sort of thinking, it kind of sneakily does a domino effect where you go from one negative thought into another negative thought, and before you know it, you're picturing yourself ocean deep in some of the most worst case scenarios that would never happen. This is your brain. It's beautiful. It can do some amazing things, both good and bad. We live in a world where so many things are happening, and those so many things are affecting our brains, and we're not even aware of it. Consumption of the things that we taste, see, hear, smell, and touch. Yes, we can argue that the world has its bad consumptions, but it's up to us to pick better ways of consumption. So today, I will share with you all healthier ways to deal with sadness as opposed to feeling sorry for yourself. I do want to make a disclaimer. I am in no way, shape, or form a medical advisor or professional. The information presented in this video is solely for informational purposes and should not be used in place of consulting a professional. Any questions or concerns should always be directed towards a qualified professional. These are just simply suggestions for not only you, but me as well. I myself fall into the unhealthy patterns of feeling sorry for myself, okay? So here we go. Number one, feel your sadness and cry about it. I know, it sounds extremely cliche and it's so obvious, but me, I really struggle with this tremendously. I try so hard to let the emotions pour out of me by myself privately, but for some reason, they only come out at the wrong times, like when I'm around a bunch of people. Absolutely hate showing my emotions around people. It makes me feel weak and vulnerable. There is a reason to this, but I digress. Whether you cry by yourself or around others, it has to come out. Feel your sadness. Don't hide from it. Embrace it. Give yourself the time you need. But the key is not to stay in it for too long. You eventually have to pull yourself out. Number two, journaling. If you're a person like me who doesn't necessarily like to tell everyone about your problems, or even if you do, journaling really helps you to get to know who you really are. When you go back to read what you've written, you really start to notice patterns, triggers, and anything you've never been aware of about yourself. Things just really start to click. You will eventually start to find the solutions to your own problems. Number 3, stop negative thoughts dead in its tracks. Soon as that mofo comes on, you say, not today. As soon as those thoughts try to sneakily come on in, you think about things on a more positive note. I do this all the time when I'm at work or when I'm around people who are giving off negative energy. I think about something that I'm excited about. I really do tune people out though, a lot. People can really make you feel bad, dumping all of their emotional baggage on you. You can be feeling so extraordinary and boom, here their ass come. It's sick, literally. People can really make you feel and become sick. Number 4, transmute. Now, journaling, which was explained in number 2, is one way to transmute. Transmute just simply means transferring energy into something else. Transmute your sadness into something more productive. You can engage in so many creative endeavors like journaling or writing, reading, drawing or painting, crocheting, pottery, content creation, and even gardening. Whatever is going to help spark that creativity. How do you think so many great musicians turn their hurt into classics that we love so much still to this day? It's all about transmutation. You could also do things like breathing exercises or breath work, meditation, affirmations, visualization. You could even do physical activity like grounding, walking outside barefoot. Number 5, talk to someone who you know you can trust. I'm talking 100%, hell, 1000%. Not someone who you know has been known to throw something in your face and use it against you. Now, while it's very hard these days to trust someone to talk to, try to think of one. Now, I know in my case, trusting is very hard for me. I'm very apprehensive of a lot of things, very skeptical, so I don't trust easily. That's something that I have to work on. I really do. Just make sure that that person is comfortable and inviting to want to hear your problems. Boundaries should be practiced all around. Some people are not comfortable because it simply just might throw their energy off. And they also might be going through something themselves. So your problems and their problems together might make them feel even more worse than they already are feeling right now. Energy is in almost everything, and it can be exchanged through people, whether we want to believe it or not. And again, if you're not that kind of a person that likes to vent to people about your problems, you can, again, journal, like we mentioned earlier. Just make sure to maybe keep your journal in a safe and secure place. Maybe put a lock on it. Depending on your spiritual or religious beliefs, you can speak to God, Allah, Source, whomever you go to when you pray or meditate. Me personally, I can't tell you what to do if you don't believe in God, but whatever helps you in your times of darkness and is on a positive note, who really cares? Number 6, give back and or volunteer. When you actually give back or volunteer, you're putting more of your focus on the less fortunate. It's like a 2-for-1. You're helping others feel better in their times of darkness, and you also get a release of dopamine. Now, dopamine is known to be the hormone that is associated with pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation. Dopamine has the role in controlling mood, sleep, concentration, learning, movement, and other body functions. So when you don't release enough dopamine, a lot of areas in your life can severely lack, causing the sadness and the imbalance within yourself. Number 7, seek professional help. Seriously, may that be in conjunction with the things that I previously mentioned or on its own. Seeking help from a medical professional may be the way to get serious and attentive insight on a more profound level. And last but not least, number 8, self-care. It's something about self-care that literally just melts the blues away. It's the ultimate way to really give you, yourself, self-love and grace. You can get a massage, take a nice hot bubble bath, give yourself a facial, get your hair and nails done, or simply just getting some extra rest. By tending to your self-care needs, you're really pouring into you and giving yourself that extra time to be replenished, rebalanced, and restarted in order to put your best foot forward. When self-care happens, we are releasing the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is associated with trust, sexual arousal, and relationship building. And that's exactly what you're doing with yourself. You're building a healthy and loving relationship with you. It's the beginning of 2024, and what better way to armor ourselves and become prepared for those days ahead when we feel so dark, alone, and just full of sadness. Once you implement some of these practices, you really get a grasp on your emotions and what may trigger them. Though we are human and never perfect, these practices are a way to manage your sadness. And if we don't take care of ourselves, how could we possibly take care of others? So until then, bye-bye everyone.